It has deterred any large crowds from forming. This is Sky 4 right now over a dart bus, which we just saw from a ground perspective, is being used to transport some of the people who have been arrested for violating the curfew that, as we mentioned, went into effect at 7 p.m. for several of the neighborhoods in central Dallas. I want to show you the map as well that indicates where people are not allowed to be. This is downtown, Victory Park, Uptown, Deep Ellum, the Cedars, the Farmers Market area of Dallas as well. All of those areas, police have banned people from being until 6 in the morning in an effort to keep crowds from getting out of hand, as we've seen in the last several nights. As I mentioned, this curfew started at 7 p.m. This is what we saw shortly after the curfew went into effect. There were some crowds that were briefly allowed to be, but shortly after, officers told protesters to go home, and when they were ignored, those people were taken into custody. We saw dozens being detained by Dallas police as well as state troopers, about 500 of which are supporting Dallas police in multiple parts of downtown. Earlier in the day, there were some peaceful protests. This was one at DPD. You'll see Mavs owner Mark Cuban walking right there. He joined the crowd of protesters. At Clyde Warren Park, there were more than 100 peaceful protesters that gathered there and then marched throughout the city. There was also another peaceful protest in another part of Uptown. Dallas Police Chief Renee Hall did talk earlier today about the enforcement and the justification for a curfew.
We will not tolerate what we are seeing right now. We are instituting a curfew. I have requested from the mayor, and he has signed a declaration, emergency declaration, giving us authority to institute a curfew that will begin at 7 p.m. We're playing chess, not checkers. And so we need to make sure that we are looking at intelligence, that we are making sure that we have enough resources, and we are getting those resources for our other law enforcement partners. And then we're aggressive in our enforcement efforts as it relates to arrests and those individuals who are violating the law. And that's how we began to put an end to it.
We mentioned those areas in central Dallas, where the curfew does apply. We did talk to a peaceful protester earlier above the curfew.
I do believe that to some extent, there is an effort to oppress or silence protesters, but at the same time, I do understand that there are businesses and people and destruction of property. But I will say, property can be rebuilt, commodities can be replaced. George Floyd can't.
The Texas Governor Greg Abbott has activated the National Guard. We have not, however, seen any of those resources in Dallas. Dozens of state troopers, though, are here to assist Dallas police.
The chairman of the Dallas Community Police Oversight Board is reacting tonight to what he has seen unfold over the weekend. Jesua Robo Enubakare says he is not surprised things have dramatically escalated. He says the board has been unable to meet because the city manager halted certain city functions due to the pandemic. He says the board is an opportunity for people to vent, but now those meetings won't happen until June 8th. He spoke to Fox 4's Allison Harris today on Instagram Live.
We do have to stop the looting. We do have to stop the rioting. But we also have to stop the killing, too. We have to find a way to solve this problem. We can't put a Band-Aid on it. We should have been having these meetings to give members of the community the space to be heard.
He says for lasting change, people have to get involved in their communities. He says he is currently talking to city council members about hosting gatherings in coming weeks for people to express their feelings.